Hey, what's up, fellow YouTubers, fellow toy nuts and toy collectors? This is Starscream 1988, and today I'm going to bring you another episode of Odie's Garage. Now, in today's garage, it's going to be my collection of Batmobiles. Now, I've actually done this video already once before. I'm only doing it again because I was holding the camera as I was going through them, and I had them facing a different way. And I did get it was only a couple, but I did get a couple of people that kind of complained and said, well, you know, you were going real fast, camera was shaky, really couldn't see the car. So I was like, okay. And in my head I'm thinking, well, you can always pause. It is 2012. We do have that option. But, you know, I didn't want to be a smart ass because I do respect the opinions that you guys give me. So I said, well, instead, you know what I'll do? I'm kind of putting these away for a while. They're going to get buried again. So let me showcase them again before I do that. Unfortunately, or I should say, honestly, I've only added maybe 2 or 3 since then. And what I did was I took out all the 150 scales. So I'll do a separate video on that just because there's so many. So this is strictly 164 scale. And then there's 2 that I used to own. But I did sell them because I needed the money. And as I go through the vehicle that I know that I had that variant, I'll tell you which one it was. And, you know, you can only take my word for it, I guess, honestly. But that's pretty much it. So we'll start with the bad guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera up because if not, my camera will think it's going to be focusing on this all day. And so I don't want it to, you know, to get messed up. So we'll kind of go up here. And that should be good enough. And I'll start with the bad guys. Now, this doesn't mean that they actually drive. This is just, you know, Hot Wheels does this just to, you know, be fun or whatever. So, okay, so here we go. So, first vehicle. Actually, not maybe Batman's nemesis, but honestly Bruce Wayne's in terms of business. So, there's Mr. Luthor, Superman's arch nemesis. Okay. And speaking of the Man of Steel, I love this vehicle because this is the Wild Thing, I believe it's called, and it just makes sense. It honestly looks like it would belong in Krypton, like a Kryptonian vehicle. So it's really cool. You saw that back there. I like the thrusters. Cool. Now we'll start with some of Batman's enemies. Now this is from I thought, one of my favorite actually Batman cartoons, The Batman. Very different style. Nothing really special about this one other than just the name, Temblor. So it's just a Hummer. I didn't do these alphabetically, but I am going to try to keep them all together. Here's Mr. Freeze. Probably my favorite Mr. Freeze one, only because it makes sense. It's like an ice cream truck, which is pretty cool. Yeah. There's the refrigerators for the ice cream. So, pretty cool. Another Mr. Freeze. Cool. And the last one. I definitely don't see him driving this, as he's really, really big guy. He definitely wouldn't fit. But again, they don't really drive these things. This is just, you know, Hot Wheels does this for fun. Cool. Mr. Scarecrow, he only has one vehicle. Pretty cool. Short-lived vehicle from the Mercury group. Mercury Cougar. Original Mercuries used to use Mustang engines back in the day. So when this came out, it definitely was a big time departure. So 4-liter turbo, more for the racing scene if you're into like the Fast and Furious and stuff like that. Another weird vehicle. This is cute. I mean, it should have been, I think, a different villain, but you know, they gave it to the Riddler, as you can see. Fortunately, with this one, it's the only one I have. If you can see that pretty well, hope it's showing. My dog went nuts, so he destroyed it. So I've never replaced it. It's not a big deal. So it's the only one that it's really in bad condition. Everything else is good, as you can see. Here's another Riddler. See, this honestly should have been for Mr. Freeze. I can see Mr. Freeze driving something like this. Nice big vehicle. But another Riddler. I like the transparent bottom. It's pretty cool. Matches the windows and stuff. You can see it from the inside. One of Batman's arch nemesis. Not one of my favorite, actually. It's one of my least favorite when it comes to bad guys. I think he's lame, but that's just my opinion. Hopefully you won't flag my video just because, you know, you love Bane and I don't. So it is a cool car though. I like it. I think this one definitely makes more sense for him. It's a muscle car. Just looks a lot more powerful. Bane. Cool. His long time, I don't know, love interest slash, you know, criminal, whatever, Catwoman. This looks cool. This makes sense for her too. I mean, I think 90% of these, you know, whoever is the person in charge over at Mattel, you know, pick good ones. Really did. Now, a lot of these that I showed you, a lot of these bad guys, these originally came in 2-packs. And I believe there was a total of 6 2-packs. So you would always get a bad guy. And then you would get a Batmobile of some sort. And then there was also a 5-pack that came out many, many years ago when they first released one of the first Batmobiles. I want to say the 89 Batmobile. So those are cars that I probably already showed you. Unfortunately, I can't remember which one's for which, so that's why I didn't mention it. But I'm just letting you know where they came from. The only thing I haven't picked up that I'm kind of behind on is I don't have Batman Live, which I'll be getting to the Batmobile soon. So it's pretty nice. I don't have that the Bat glider from the movie, from The Dark Knight Returns. Haven't bothered, well, I haven't found it, I should say. And in terms of the 1 in 4,000 collections of oil can, you get 3 movie cars. Yeah, 3 movie cars. There's a 1 in 10,000, 1 in 4,000. I don't have any of those. I have one, but I don't have the other ones, and I have it loose. I don't have them in their oil can, the collectible thing. That was Joker, by the way. The last 2. That was actually the Batman Joker cartoon, and then the other one's just a comic book. And this is awesome for Joker too. This card like makes a lot of sense for Joker, I think. I just think it looks him. Look at that mean face there. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I by no means have the full collection of these. And again, like I said, I did sell 2 in particular because I knew they were worth a lot. And I needed the cash. And I mean, I like Hot Wheels a lot, but I don't love Hot Wheels. So if that makes sense. Now, starting with the Batman. So this is, I know for a fact, one of the movie 5-packs. This is, I believe, from the second movie 5-pack, which was for the movies. For the Batman Begins, or maybe even the second movie. But I'm pretty sure it was Batman Begins, actually. So, this you know, this came out many years prior, and obviously they just kind of repainted it and made it the Bats. It's pretty cool. So it's that. Another non-car, one of his helicopters. Now this year there was a new 5-pack release for the Dark Knight Returns, but I didn't bother getting it. I don't like it, and I know I believe there's another one of these with another repaint. I just don't care for the 5-pack. I think it's whack. I don't like anything in there. There wasn't anything different. So, and I'm kind of done with it, getting all the multiple you know, Batmobiles just because of different colors and stuff. I just kind of want to get unique ones now. Maybe 2 at most, but as I come through these collections, you'll see that some of them I have 4 or 5 of them, so it's kind of All right. Again, I know for a fact this was part of that 5-pack from the first 5-pack of the movie. It's just a regular Viper, nothing special. But it does have the bat symbol there, as you can see. Cool. Alright. Next we have, again, I'm pretty sure this was part of that 5-pack. So, there we go. That's not focusing. Too much chrome. No tampos, but it's definitely a bat cycle. Cool. Now this came out this year. You've all seen this. I do have one mint in pack still. So pretty nice. I like this one a lot. Another new one. from this year. This one's tough to capture on camera. I would have to be really lit up in here, but I hate that. It's the only one that has the trademark on the side. Yeah, but this is sweet. I like this one a lot too. Cool. Now we're getting to one of the last ones that kind of are gimmick cars. This is also part of the Batman. These were, and again, I've showed you a lot of the Batman ones from that animated show. They were actually part of these packs where you would get like these little PVC action figures or plastic, whatever. So this was never a real Batmobile. This came out many years prior. It's the RD09, whatever the hell that means. But it just so happens that it looks like it could have been a Batmobile. So again, somebody at Mattel was like, "Oh wow, you know what? We could tag that up as a Batmobile. It looks cool." But this was never in the cartoon. Speaking of the Batman cartoon, this was the very first release of the Batman. Now, how you know if it's the first release? It's the only one that has the navy blue stripe there, and the windows also navy blue, and the front there, the front lights. So, okay. Then these are now variants of that same vehicle. This is a flat finished black one. It's a little scratched up. It has the green there, which is pretty nice. If you can hear my daughter, she's giving my wife a hard time while I'm down here recording. Here's the baby blue version. Now it goes back to the kind of shiny finish. So, and I'll grab these one last time all together so you can kind of see them, because I know it's multiples of the same vehicle. So, and then here's another flat finish one. Again, they do scratch up easy because I don't have them in cases. I do have to get another case. I have 9 cases of for Hot Wheels cars, but I just don't have a case for my Batmobiles yet. So they do scratch a little bit there, which sucks. It's the only one that they didn't bother painting the black there on the engine. Grab all those together again. Alright. There you go. Alright, cool. Now here we have the very famous first release of the '66 Batmobile. You've all seen tons of these. I had, at one point, I feel bad because I think I showed it in that Batman video. I had over 33 or 36 Batmobiles mint in package, and then after I showed the video, a couple weeks later, people started asking for them. But unfortunately, what happened was when I was in Salem, I sold them all, and I sold them for actually cheaper than what they're worth. Some lady owns like a toy store in the mall, and so I offered her to buy them from me. I said, you know what? If you give me $350 per Hot Wheel, they're all yours. And so she bought the whole lot, and I made like like 100 and change or something like that. So I needed to make a quick $100. I had a bill to pay or whatever, and I couldn't wait, so I had to do it. This is the Faster Than Ever, I believe it's called. Now the third one that I had of this was I had the 5-spoke rim one. So if you know your Hot Wheels, it's the one that's really hard to come by. I've seen it a couple times on eBay, and people ask, I think, a little more than what it's worth. Of course, I sold mine open. Mine was not mint in card because it was one of the very first I had grabbed, and I actually opened it not knowing, thinking that those were going to be the original regular rims. So I did open it, so it's not like I sold it for a lot of money, but I did sell it for like $20 odd because it was loose. And it's like I said, the 5-spoke one, so I don't have that one anymore. So it's one of the first ones that I sold. The new movie Batmobile. And actually, unfortunately, one of my least favorite of all these Batmobiles. And I just wish the scale would be a lot bigger. I mean, going back, I mean, seriously, is the '66 that much bigger? I understand what scale is. I mean, I'm old enough to have sold cars in real life, and I understand the whole scale concept of why they are what they are. But you know what? They should have cheated and said, you know what? We won't do it 164. We'll do it 160, just so it can be the right size. But I don't know. That's just me being picky, I guess. Here's another black one. Now, hopefully you can see the difference, and I'll put them together. I don't know if it's a running variant or if it came in a different pack, but as you can see, it is identical, I believe. The top one looked lighter, but is that because of the light? That was because of the light. If you look at the windshields, they are different colors. Can you see that there? Hopefully, yeah, I think right there. So this is a lot darker, and that's a lot lighter blue. So, but yeah, that's it. And then the camel with that same light blue windshield of that black one that I just showed you. Cool. This is the first edition of what started when Hot Wheels actually acquired the license. And I want to say it was 2004. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I could go check online, but I'm not probably going to. But yeah, this is the very first one. Actually, no, it wasn't. You're right. I mean, I was wrong. For those of you who say, no, you're wrong, I'll show you which one was the very first one that they actually picked up in license form. But this is the first edition of the 1989 Michael Keaton Batmobile. All right. Here's another version. This is actually my favorite one. I like the flat finish. It's kind of like more military looking, more stealth looking with the black rims. So. Alright. Here's another one. This is part of, I believe, those 2-packs that I was talking about in the beginning. They came like with Mr. Freeze and different vehicles like that. So it's different. It's navy blue with the blue fire, whatever. Black rims. Die-cast bottom, which is good, cool. But the car itself is actually, is it? I don't know, it seems plastic here, but then this seems like die-cast, but it might be just a very hard plastic. And I think that's it for Michael Keaton Batmobiles, right? Yep, it is. So I'll grab them all together one last time, those three. There we go. Oop. Cool. Alright. And then these are some tuned out versions of the also 89 Batmobile, as you can see there. So it is, honestly, it's that car right there. It's all stretched out or whatever. It's tuned out. And again, this was part of a 2-pack. I know that for a fact. I just can't remember which one it came with, but I remember opening the pack. I'm like, oh, chrome with the black fire. And only because this actually had came out prior. And this was actually in a single pack for that year. Because that year they released, I want to say 3 or 4 of them they released. And they were all single packs. So again, it's just the opposite in colors. Other than the chrome finish, obviously. So I've heard some people say, oh, they should have done it backwards. The back should have been real big and the front real small. But I don't think it would have worked. I think it would have looked really weird. I mean, it's weird looking now, but I think it would have. I mean, the whole thing with Batmobiles, I mean, that specifically this year, that whole turbine in the front is just very iconic. So I think they just wanted to show it. So the back is cool, but it looks fine the way it is. I think if it would have been backwards, bigger back, smaller front, I don't think it would have worked. But that's just me. So that was both of them together one last time. Cool. This is another one of their newer ones. Now, unfortunately, this is not part of the original first release single card. This is part of that collection that Walmart picked up. I believe it's like 9 of them single carded, and they have the real cool, you know, drawings and whatever graphics on the card. So this is the second one. So I don't know if there's a difference in color from the original release or if it was exactly like this. So, cool. Alrighty. Now, this is the original first release version. Is it that one or is it this one? I think it's this one. crap. And now you guys can correct me again. It's either this one or the next one I'm going to show you. In 2004, when they acquired the license, but this is what Mattel did. This is the very first one. If not, it's the next one that I'm going to show you. And again, I do apologize, because I know one of these came in a 3-pack. It came with like a little, like a sticker book and stuff like that. And I used to have all these Hot Wheels doubles, some even sometimes triples. But I sold my open collection, I'm sorry, my mint and card collection to some guy. And I got really good money for it, so it was definitely worth it. And I sold it many years later, so when the first Batman movie came out, Batman Begins, I believe it was, a little bit after that. So I forgot the name of this one. This one's called, I know it has a name. It's a funky name too. Makes sense. But anyway, so if that wasn't the original release, it was this one, or vice versa. So this is like the all purple. Now the other one that I don't have here anymore was, I used to have actually the Zamak version of this. I used to have a real good friend that worked at Toys R Us, and he actually pulled one for himself the first time. And then I said, come on, dude, you don't even collect these things. He's like, oh yeah, but I want to sell it. So I was like, all right, whatever. And he's like, well, I'll sell it to you. And he wanted me to give him like 30 bucks for it. And I was like, you're crazy. Even though it was worth it, but I just didn't want to do it. So eventually, probably like a month later, as he was putting Hot Wheels up on the peg again, another one came out. And I know they're super hard to find. So he was like, oh, I got one. And he just said, just give me like $5. So I gave him the $5 for it. And then many years later, again, probably a month or so prior to selling that 66 Batmobile, that was the first one that I sold. And I think I sold it for like, I want to say $80, $90. It was crazy. So my most expensive Hot Wheels that I've ever owned in my life. So here's another one in gray. I like this one a lot. This is probably my favorite out of all the Batmobiles of this design, just because of the color. Twin turbines in the back there. Now, if you ever owned the original Mattel toy for the 6-inch figure line, this side over here separated, and it was Robin. It was like an escape pod for Robin, which was pretty cool. So that's another thing that I used to own a crap load of. I used to own pretty much every single Batmobile ever made from Mattel, starting from the Powers of Superpowers line. But then again, as the years went by, I was kind of done with the whole like action figures and stuff, which that's why you don't see me reviewing them much. And so I got rid of them all slowly but surely. So here's an all black one, which is pretty nice. And we're almost done, folks. I know we're past the 20-minute mark here. Here's another one in like a flatter black with gold. This one definitely looks more like the Dark Knight's color, seeing as he has been drawn in the comics with the black and gold, well, the yellow on his bat anyway. So it's pretty cool. So I'll hold them all one more time. See if I can, because it's a lot more here. So put them all together. And I believe it's, what, 4 of these I just showed you? Yeah, 5 of them. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. Here is a tuned out version of that same Batmobile. And again, this came out in the same year as the other tuned out 89 Batmobile, the Michael Keaton one. And this one's very different. I mean, this one they went the opposite. They just shortened the crap out of it. I mean, this is the original release. And all they did was take the spoiler and just like really pull it out. So cool. And last but not least, this is the is it Batman and Robin and Batman Forever? You guys can let me know. I can't remember anymore, but anyway, yeah. So this is actually one of the ones that you can find in those oil cans that I was talking about. Anyway, that's what they call them. It's like a round cylinder, transparent, real cool collectible. They retail for anything from like $20, $25. This was in a collection, and the guy just gave it to me. So I was like, cool. I wasn't going to say no. Pretty nice. You can see there. Yeah, I want to say it's the 3rd Batman movie. The one with, whatchamacallit, Mr. Freeze. Or was that the fourth one? Oh no, that's the fourth one with George Clooney. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this is the third movie. The fourth movie was the convertible version of the Batmobile, which I do have on 150 scale. Alright folks, this is basically it. Thanks for hanging on with me. If you did hang on these whole 25 minutes or so. Oops, not done. Real quick, I'll kind of show you these. I'm so sorry. I almost missed these. Monster trucks. Here's another one. Difference is just the turbine. They deleted it here. They kept it here. So I do have both releases. Of course, the version that has the turbine does not have the chrome, as you can see. The other one does, so I kind of wish that this one had the chrome instead, but I don't know, it is what it is. Cool. So it's basically that, and that one right there, Superman, his buddy. And I added this one too only for the fact that for a while Mattel, since they own both licensing rights, they were doing He-Man versus Mattel. I'm sorry, He-Man versus superheroes. DC Classics, so I kind of added the He-Man there, as you can see, which is pretty cool. And this is from the 2000 line. But yeah, there's the Superman there with his cape. That's basically it. And give me 1 second. See, I knew I was missing a single one. I don't know where the hell it went. I'll have to find it. But I do have this loose. And this is from the game. That is my package version. I almost forgot to pull these. Just in case. That is part of my 161 scale. Here's the very first original release. Is it a first edition? Yes, the original first release of the Batmobile. As you can see there. It's first edition. It was number 31 of 100. Alright, and unfortunately I did get rid of the tuned out one, and I got rid of the both tuned out ones. I just didn't care. Unfortunately, that's not the original release. That's the Faster Than Ever. And I still have one there, and I kept one of these. That's the one that I was talking about, folks. So as you can see, I don't have an original release from the carded line. And then a couple more of his buddies, just in case if you've never seen some of my toy hauls. Here is Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. So this just became more of a superhero garage instead of just Batman. Some guest stars, and then of course got that one there. You know what? I didn't want to get Bane, but I kind of do want to get it now. Now I finally saw one in my hand. I just thought it was real cool. So anyway, folks, again, thank you so much for watching. I know this is a very long video, but again, you can kind of skip and go through it as you like. You guys take care. Please rate, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Take care. Peace. Thanks for watching again, guys.